So, what's up with Quantum Break? Or, as I call it, the control before control. Quantum Break is the Xbox One exclusive game from Remedy, the minds behind Alan Wake, Max Payne, and Control. The game is a third person shooter with time based mechanics. I've made a video on this game already, but don't watch it, just stay here. You play as Jack Joyce, and your brother Will has been researching time travel with your longtime friend Paul Serene. Things go awry when Paul uses the machine before it's ready, which fucks everything up. You assist him in using it one early morning. It malfunctions and gives you both time superpowers. Paul goes back in time to create a company called Monarch, which are the main bad guys. With time breaking down and going to shit, Monarch creates the technology to use it to their advantage. As Jack Joyce, you fight to fix the fabric of space-time, which you find out your brother was conveniently working on. The powers you have let you manipulate time. Time Stop lets you freeze enemies in a bubble, allowing you to fill it up with bullets before it expires, lacing your opponent with lead. You also have a dash. It can jolt you in any direction. It also ripples your surroundings and it alters the score a bit. I think it's really well done. And a time shield, which puts up, well, a shield, and allows you to shoot through it while being temporarily guarded. There are some puzzle elements between the gunfights as well, but they are pretty basic. It's usually just rewinding time in an area and then running through. A unique element of this game is that it features a TV show that runs alongside of it. Roughly 45-minute episodes featuring characters from the game, but shows you more of Monarch's side of the story. You play through an act which is about an hour long, give or take, and then watch a segment of the show which picks up where you left off. In the game and in the show, you will recognize some of these faces, like Iceman, Abraham Gold, Silence, and Dominic Monaghan. The show is pretty good, but the performances are a little weak from some of the lesser known actors. It's also flooded by Microsoft product placement. Since it's an Xbox exclusive game from 2016, you see Surface computers and Windows phones everywhere. It's actually funny looking back at it now. The gameplay itself is kinda heavy. When I was playing Callisto Protocol, it reminded me of Quantum Break, in which the gameplay feels clunky and awkward until you just eventually get used to it. Jack struts around at a leisurely pace. He also automatically crouches when you come close to any cover. I'm not a fan of movement like this. I want to be able to crouch, walk, or run on a whim, and the game takes that control away from you. Pun intended. I was very negative in that first video that I made. Looking back, I kind of understand why in some places. The lack of player control is a choice made by the developer. I also mentioned that there isn't a large variety of weapons. Looking back isn't really a big deal. The enemies can be bullet sponges, so having a limited weapon palette means that someone you just killed probably has ammo for the weapon that you're using. The pistols have unlimited ammo, which I think is a great choice. There are some glitches still present in the game. Nothing game breaking, but it's worth mentioning. Also, the biggest gripe I had back then and right now is the visuals. There's a very harsh film grain over everything, and you can't disable it. You can hide it a little bit by lowering your brightness in the settings, but that's it. Also, moving objects look muddy and they leave streaks of blur behind it like it's being dragged through mud. There's a name for this, which I'm blanking on, but this is obviously just a limitation due to the VCR Xbox One. The game runs at 30 as well, which is a big no-no from me, but 2016 was a different time. I was hoping that since I last played it, Remedy would go in and at least make an Xbox One X enhanced version to clean up some of the edges, but they did no such thing. The game is so close to being very good, but misses in a couple areas. The powers really do feel fantastic and fun to use. Once you get in the flow of zipping around combat areas and managing your cooldowns, it can feel very rewarding. The intense recoil of the weapons is a little off-putting, and the slow saunter Jack does while being shot at never sat well with me. Alright, should you play Quantum Break? Well, it's the perfect game if you want to spy through walls. If you want to shoot through walls. If you want to watch boring presentations.
Our primary drive as a species.
And if you wanted to watch your games instead of playing them.
Rather, remain safe. But as long as Paul is the absolutely.
Alright, what's up everyone? I wanted to redo this video just because my opinion changed a bit from when I made the initial video on it, and I needed something to fill the gap as well. I'm working on a Grounded video as well, and that game is taking me much longer than I expected, so this kind of felt right. Quantum Break is still a decent game to go back and play. It just shows its age right from the jump. Remedy is a great studio, and hopefully they can return and make another game or remaster as an Xbox game studio, maybe. I'm just manifesting. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe.